A pregnant horse named Bella faced a terrifying ordeal when a massive boa constrictor attacked her. What happened next is an incredible tale of survival that will leave you shocked. In the serene countryside lived a pregnant mare named Bella. The farm where she lived was a picturesque haven, nestled between lush green fields and a sparkling river that wound its way through the valley. Bella wandered leisurely through the meadow, her movements slow and deliberate due to her advanced pregnancy. She grazed happily, taking in the tender shoots of grass that grew abundantly. However, little did Bella know that danger lurked in the shadows. A massive boa constrictor, its scales reflecting like polished armor, crawled silently through the tall grass. The snake's eyes, cold and calculating, were fixed on Bella. It had been stalking her for days, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. This master of stealth moved with lethal precision, its body undulating smoothly as it closed the distance between itself and its unsuspecting prey. Bella, fully engaged in her grazing, remained totally unaware of the looming threat. The farmhands, who worked diligently to maintain the land, often found comfort in the monotonous routines of their daily tasks. However, this sense of security was about to be shattered. Without warning, the boa constrictor lunged, its powerful body coiling around Bella with astonishing speed. The mare's eyes widened in terror as she felt the crushing force of the snake's embrace. She neighed loudly, filled with panic and desperation as she struggled against the constrictor's grip. Her powerful legs kicked out, but the snake's hold only tightened, squeezing the air from her lungs. The farmhands, who had been scattered across the fields tending to their chores, dropped everything and ran towards the source of the disturbance. Jack, an experienced rancher whose rough exterior hid a heart that beat fiercely for the animals he cared for, led the charge. Bella, the beloved mare, was entangled in the deadly embrace of a massive boa constrictor. Her breaths came in short, labored gasps, and her eyes were wide with terror. "Grab the ropes and sticks," Jack shouted to the farmhands, his voice steady despite the rising panic. Armed with whatever they could find, they approached the snake cautiously. The farmhands surrounded the snake, and with determination and desperation, they began their efforts to free Bella. They tugged at the snake's coils, using the ropes to try and loosen its grip. It was as snake was made of iron, its muscles contracting tighter with every movement. Just when it seemed their efforts were futile, a memory flashed through Jack's mind. Years ago, a traveling snake charmer visited the farm and shared a memorable trick to drive snakes away using smoke. "Start a fire," Jack shouted. "Quickly, we need smoke to drive the snake away." Men gathered dry leaves, twigs, and anything else that would burn. Within moments, they had a small fire going, and smoke began to billow into the air. The acrid smell filled their nostrils, and they hoped it would have the desired effect. As the smoke thickened, the boa constrictor's grip loosened ever so slightly. Bella's body, which had been taut with tension, relaxed a fraction. Encouraged, the farmhands continued to stoke the fire. However, their relief was short-lived. The fire, fueled by the dry summer air, began to spread more quickly than anticipated. Flames licked at the edges of the nearby grass, and the wind carried embers towards the barn. Jack's eyes widened in horror. The barn was filled with hay. "Half of you, control the fire," Jack commanded, his voice urgent. "The rest, keep working on the snake." Smoke filled the air, making it difficult to see and breathe. Jack's mind raced as he tried to oversee both operations. He knew they were running out of time. The fire was spreading faster, and Bella's life hung in the balance. As the farmhands battled the fire, Jack focused on Bella. "Hang in there, girl," he whispered, his voice choked with emotion. "We're going to get you out of this." The smoke began to have a more pronounced effect on the snake. Its coils loosened further, and Bella managed to take a deeper breath. Jack seized the opportunity. "Now, pull," he shouted. With a concerted effort, they tugged at the snake. The situation at the farm was growing increasingly dire. Despite their best efforts, the farmhands were struggling to control the spreading fire and free Bella from the boa constrictor's deadly grip. Realizing that they needed more specialized help, Jack made a quick decision. "Tom," he called out, his voice cutting through the chaos. Tom is a young and agile lad with a reputation for being quick on his feet. Tom nodded, understanding the urgency. He sprinted towards the stables, his heart pounding in his chest. He quickly saddled up his horse, a swift and sturdy gelding named Flash, and mounted up. With a swift kick, he urged Flash into a gallop, navigating the winding country roads with a sense of urgency and determination. The ride to Dr. Emily's clinic felt like an eternity. The winding roads, usually a source of scenic beauty, now seemed like endless obstacles. Tom's mind raced with thoughts of Bella and the unborn foal. Meanwhile, back at the farm, Bella's condition was worsening. At the edge of town, Dr. Emily was in the middle of her morning rounds when she heard the frantic clatter of hooves. "Dr. Emily, we need you at the farm now," Tom shouted as he dismounted. "Bella's in trouble. She's being constricted by a huge snake, and we can't free her." Dr. Emily, known for her expertise with exotic animals, swiftly grabbed her tranquilizer gun and medical kit, mounted her horse Daisy, and raced back to the farm with Tom, her heart pounding as she prepared to face an unprecedented challenge. When they arrived, "Everyone stand back," she ordered. She carefully aimed the tranquilizer gun at the boa constrictor and squeezed the trigger. The dart flew through the air and embedded itself in the snake's thick scales. With the boa constrictor finally subdued by the tranquilizer, the real challenge began. Dr. Emily directed the farmhands to carefully unwind the snake. Each coil removed felt like a small victory, but Bella's breathing remained shallow and labored. When the last coil was removed from around her body, she didn't even get to take a single deep breath before she collapsed. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Dr. Emily quickly administered emergency treatment to Bella. She injected her with a combination of medications to stabilize her condition. Dr. Emily shouted, "Bella's foal is in distress. We need to perform an emergency C-section right here." As Dr. Emily prepared for the operation, the atmosphere was charged with a mix of fear and hope. Dr. Emily's hands moved with practiced precision and speed. She made a careful incision along Bella's side, her focus unwavering despite the mounting pressure. The farmhands assisted her, their hands steadying Bella and providing support. Each second felt like an eternity, the tension almost unbearable. Finally, after what seemed like an age, Dr. Emily reached into the incision and gently lifted a tiny, wriggling foal from Bella's side. For a moment, time stood still. Then, as the foal let out its first weak cry, the crowd erupted in cheers. The relief and joy were palpable, a wave of emotion that swept through everyone present. Bella, though weak, groaned softly as her newborn foal was placed beside her. The sight was nothing short of miraculous. The foal, a small, delicate creature with a coat still wet and glistening, instinctively nuzzled against its mother. Bella, despite her exhaustion, responded with a gentle nudge, her eyes reflecting a flicker of life and hope. Dr. Emily quickly tended to both mother and baby, ensuring they were stable. The crowd, once tense and fearful, now buzzed with excitement and relief. The miraculous outcome seemed almost unbelievable, given the dire circumstances just moments before. Jack, his face lined with relief and gratitude, approached Dr. Emily. "Thank you," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "You saved them both." Dr. Emily smiled and said, "We did it together." As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the meadow, the scene was one of serene beauty. Bella and her foal lay side by side, both alive and safe. The farmhands, their hearts full, knew they had witnessed something truly extraordinary. Over the next few days, they all rallied around Bella and her newborn foal, providing round-the-clock care and support. The meadow, once a scene of chaos and fear, transformed into a place of healing and hope. Dr. Emily, who had been the cornerstone of the rescue effort, stayed by Bella's side. She monitored the mare's condition closely, administering medications and ensuring that both mother and baby were comfortable and well-nourished. The bond between Bella and her foal grew stronger with each passing day. The foal, a spirited little colt named Miracle by the townspeople, thrived under the watchful eyes of his mother and the caring hands of the community. Word of Bella's ordeal and her miraculous survival spread quickly. The community praised the farmhands for their efforts and also for choosing not to kill the boa constrictor, which was eventually released deep into the forest. Neighboring towns heard the tale as well, and soon it was being retold everywhere. It reminded everyone that even in the face of the most daunting challenges, hope and perseverance could lead to unbelievable outcomes. The farmhands marveled at Bella's resilience as she quickly regained her strength. She began to move more freely, her steps growing steadier, and her eyes regaining their lively sparkle.